There's a kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, a heaviness that doesn't go away after a good meal or a walk outside or a phone call with a friend. A feeling of being far away from yourself, even when you're surrounded by people. And when you're living in a foreign country, in a language that isn't yours, that feeling can be very hard to name, and even harder to explain to a doctor.
Mental health is health, full stop. And talking about it clearly, honestly, is one of the most important conversations you can ever have with a medical professional.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fluent Tales. I'm Sarah. Today, we're talking about mental health, specifically how to talk about it in English with a doctor or counselor. New here? Subscribe and hit the bell. And if today's episode matters to you, please give us a thumbs up.
Welcome back. I'm James. Today's vocabulary: anxiety, depression, therapy, counseling, mental health are words everyone deserves to know. Because you cannot get help for something you cannot name. And naming it clearly and without shame is always the first step.
Grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's hear today's story.
Today we're talking about Jin, 28 years old from South Korea, living in Melbourne, Australia for 14 months. He came for the adventure, the beaches, the coffee culture, the open skies. And for the first few months, it was everything he'd imagined.
And then, slowly, it wasn't.
Jin couldn't point to the moment things changed. It was gradual, like a light dimming so slowly you don't notice until the room is dark. He stopped calling friends back home. He went straight to bed after work, even when he wasn't tired. He lost interest in cooking, hiking, exploring. He told himself it was just homesickness, just a phase.
It went on for 4 months.
One afternoon, his colleague Priya sat down next to him and said quietly, "Jin, are you okay? And I mean really okay, not just fine." Jin looked at her and said, to his own surprise, "No, I don't think I am."
Priya didn't offer advice. She just said, "Have you thought about talking to someone? A professional? There's a GP clinic 2 streets away. You could start there."
Jin made the appointment 2 days later. He sat in the waiting room feeling, he described it later, like he was about to do something very brave and very embarrassing at the same time. The doctor said, "Hi, Jin. What brings you in today?" And Jin opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again, and said, "I'm not sure how to explain this."
The doctor said, "That's okay. Take your time." Jin looked at the desk and then said, "I've been feeling very low for a few months. Not sad exactly, more like empty. Like I'm going through the motions of my life, but I'm not really there. I've lost interest in things I used to enjoy. I'm sleeping a lot, but still tired. I don't know what's wrong with me."
The doctor listened without interrupting. When Jin finished, she said, "Thank you for telling me that. I know that wasn't easy. What you're describing, the low mood, the loss of interest, the fatigue, the disconnection, these are recognized symptoms. You haven't done anything wrong, and you're in exactly the right place."
She asked careful questions. How long? Had anything changed? How was he sleeping? Did he have support around him? Jin answered honestly. Some answers were easy. Some were harder.
The doctor said, "I think you would benefit from speaking to a mental health professional, a counselor or therapist who specializes in exactly what you're describing. I'll give you a referral, and I want to see you again in 2 weeks. I want to make sure you're not going through this alone." Jin said, "I've never done therapy before." The doctor said, "The first session is mostly the therapist getting to know you. You don't need all the answers. You just need to show up."
Jin left with a referral and the doctor's words in his head. "You're in exactly the right place." He had expected to feel embarrassed. He felt instead something he hadn't felt in months. Relief.
He started seeing a counselor the following week. It was not a quick fix, but over the weeks that followed, something shifted. Slowly, the room got a little lighter. He called Priya after his third session and said, "I think it's helping." She said, "I know." He said, "How did you know I needed help before I did?" She said, "Because I was you 2 years ago, and someone sat next to me and asked if I was really okay."
Some conversations change everything. That was one of them.
Sarah, mental health. Why do people find it so hard to bring up with a doctor?
Stigma. The idea that it's a weakness, something to be ashamed of, something you should fix by yourself. That exists in many cultures and keeps people silent for far too long. And language. It's genuinely hard to describe what's happening inside your mind, even in your first language. In a second language, that difficulty is multiplied.
And what I'd say to anyone wondering whether what they're feeling is serious enough to bring to a doctor, if you're asking that question, the answer is yes. You don't need to be in crisis. You don't need the right words. Just go. Sit in front of a doctor and say, "I haven't been feeling like myself." That sentence alone is enough. A good doctor will take it from there.
And if English is not your first language and you're worried about finding the words, that's exactly what today's episode is for. You deserve care in any language, and you deserve to be understood. Learning section. 5 essential words.
Number 1. Anxiety. Persistent feelings of worry, fear, or unease, often about things that may or may not happen, can be mild or severe, occasional or constant. Pronunciation. Anxiety. You might say, "I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety. I worry constantly and I can't seem to switch off." Number 2. Depression. Persistent low mood, loss of interest, fatigue, and feelings of emptiness or hopelessness. Not the same as feeling sad for a few days, a recognized medical condition. Pronunciation. Depression. You might say, "I've been feeling very low for several months. I think I might be experiencing depression." Number 3. Therapy. Treatment involving structured conversations with a trained mental health professional. Many types exist. The right one for you is something a professional will help you explore. Pronunciation. Therapy. You might hear, "I'd like to refer you for therapy with a specialist." Number 4. Counseling. Similar to therapy, structured conversations with a trained professional about your feelings and experiences. Often shorter term than therapy. In practice, many people use both words interchangeably. Pronunciation. Counseling. You might ask, "Can you refer me for counseling?" Number 5. Mental health. Your emotional, psychological, and social well-being, how you think, feel, and function in daily life. As real and as important as physical health. Pronunciation. Mental health. You can say simply, "I'd like to talk about my mental health."
3 phrases. First, I haven't been feeling like myself for a while. I think I need to talk to someone. You don't need a diagnosis. You don't need to explain everything. This sentence opens the door.
Second, I've been feeling low and I've lost interest in things I used to enjoy. 2 of the most clinically significant symptoms a doctor listens for. Clear, honest, specific. Say exactly this if it applies to you.
Third, I'm not sure what's wrong. I just know something doesn't feel right. You are allowed not to have the answer. That's the doctor's job. Your job is to show up and be honest. That is always enough.
Today's word, anxiety. 4 syllables. Anxiety. Stress on the second syllable. Say it. I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety. One more time. I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety. Perfect.
In many English-speaking countries, your first point of contact for mental health support is your GP, your general practitioner. You don't need to go directly to a specialist. Go to your regular doctor, describe what you're experiencing, and they refer you to the right support. If you don't have a GP, Look for a walk-in clinic or community health center. The important thing is to take that first step.
And one thing worth knowing, mental health conversations with a doctor are confidential. What you say stays between you and your medical team. You are not in trouble. You are not going to be judged. You are a person seeking care for a health condition. That is all. And that is enough.
5 questions.
Question 1. What city was Jin living in? Melbourne, Australia, on a working holiday visa for 14 months.
Question 2. How did Jin describe what he was feeling to the doctor? Low, not sad, but empty. Going through the motions without feeling present. Loss of interest in things he used to enjoy. Sleeping a lot, but still tired. He found the words even when he thought he couldn't.
Question 3. What did the doctor refer Jin to? A counsellor, a mental health professional specialising in exactly what Jin described. She also scheduled a follow-up in 2 weeks, so he wouldn't go through it alone.
Question 4. What is the difference between therapy and counseling? Both involve structured conversations with a trained professional. Counseling is often shorter term, therapy often longer term. In practice, many people use both words interchangeably.
Question 5. What sentence is enough to start a mental health conversation with a doctor? I haven't been feeling like myself. That's it. No crisis required, no perfect words needed. Just go and say something honest.
How did you do? 5 out of 5 is wonderful. If you missed any, go back to the vocabulary section. And if today's episode resonated with you personally, please talk to someone. You deserve support in any language.
Quick review. Anxiety. Persistent worry or fear that affects daily life. Depression. Persistent low mood, loss of interest, and fatigue. A recognized medical condition. Therapy. Structured conversations with a trained professional. Counseling. Similar to therapy, often shorter term. Mental health. Your emotional and psychological well-being, as real and important as physical health.
And that's Jin's story. 4 months of feeling empty. One colleague who asked the right question. One doctor who listened without judgment. One referral. And slowly, the room got lighter. He found the words, and the words led him to help.
If this episode helped you or someone you know, give us a thumbs up and share it. Subscribe to Fluent Tales. We read every single comment.
And if anything today felt personal, please talk to someone. A doctor, a counselor, a trusted friend. You don't need perfect words. You just need to start. Take care of yourselves and each other. This has been Fluent Tales.
See you next time.
And Jin says, the hardest sentence I ever said in English was also the most important one. I'm not okay. 3 words. They changed everything.
They always do. Bye, everyone.